Leadership has nothing to do with rank. Rank affords you authority, that's it. But it doesn't make you a leader, right? Leadership is the awesome responsibility to see those around us rise. If you are the leader you wish you had, and this is why I want to see young people, if they go through discomfort or they have a leader they don't buy into, please don't quit, right? Please stay there and practice the difficult, magical, wonderful, honorable skill of leadership with your team. Even if you're the most junior person, you have somebody to the left of you and you have somebody to the right of you, and you can commit to seeing that they feel seen, heard, and understood. You can commit to helping them achieve their goals. You can commit to making them feel like someone has their back in difficult times. And you can commit to in helping ensure that when they go home at the end of the day, that they feel fulfilled and they had a good day at work. That's called leadership. And what you'll start to find is if you can do that, if you can develop that skill set, that these little teams start to be higher performing, they start to get along better, the teaming starts to happen really well, and leadership will either ignore you because you're doing fine, or they may surprise you and be like, what are they doing down there? I'm really curious, and they may actually come and learn from you. And eventually one of you is going to get promoted out of that group and go to another team, and they're going to take all the skills they learned from you and they're going to bring them to their new team, and now you're going to have two high-performing, wonderful teams that are highly trusting and magical, and then 3, and then 5, and then 10, and before you know it, the tail wags the dog. And this is one of the hardest things I think young people struggle with, which is we're talking about a long-term mindset. We're talking about an infinite mindset here, which is the speed at which it takes for the tail to wag the dog is unpredictable. The reason a lot of businesses ignore all of my work is not because it's wrong or they disagree, it's because they want it to work on the day they want it to work, which is the exact same thing as saying to me, Simon, I'm exercising and I need to be healthy on this exact day, on this exact time. I'm like, I mean, maybe it'll work out that way. You know, it's like every doctor will tell you if you work out 20 minutes a day for the rest of your life, you're going to be super healthy, right? But on what day you're healthy, on what day your blood pressure gets better, nobody knows. Sometimes quick, sometimes slow, I don't know. But you have to commit to the process. And 100% of the time the process works. I just don't know when. And leadership is the same. 100% it works. I just don't know when. And people come quickly and people come slowly. So you may convert an entire organization in a year. Be the leader you wish you had. Don't worry about convincing other people.
People come along at different times. Like, you can't force someone to have a conversion, or you can't force somebody to believe. If we don't know what their story is. We don't know that maybe they've worked for horrible people in the past. Maybe they've come from companies that had terrible cultures. Maybe they've been once bitten, twice shy. Like, maybe they're coming with their guard up. Like, I don't know what their experience is. I don't know what their story is. So just because we are well-intentioned and we're all like chipper and studying leadership, that we expect that they come in the first 3 weeks of their employment, how come you're not all in? Everybody else here is all in. Like, you got to meet people where they are. Some people jump right in head first and they're really excited when they come into a new culture. And some people are slower. Just let them come at their own pace, but you just keep doing the right thing. And most importantly, you got to be consistent, right? You can't just do it once or twice. You got to do it all the time. And it's the little things that add up more than the big things. So I always think the balance of intensity versus consistency. So intensity is something like this. You've come in for 3 days. It's an intense time. It's intense education. You're on and anything intense is easily measured and captured in time, right? But consistency is the little stuff that is innocuous and doesn't seem to do anything. Like saying good morning, in the hallway. Well, that does nothing if you do it once, but what if you do it every day? And it's the same in leadership. It's the little things. Facing your body towards somebody. Hey, can I talk to you? Sure. What's on your mind? Right? Little things. Like I said, these things in a vacuum do nothing, but if you do them over and over and over again, I can tell you how powerful they are. A Marine once told me, he says his test for being a leader is if you ask somebody how they're doing, you actually care about the answer. How are you? It's been a hard day. Okay, cool. Well, I'll check you after lunch, right? No, how are you? Not doing so good. What's going on, right? These are skills. They're very easy to learn. They're very easy to practice, but you gotta do them. And over the course of time, sometimes quicker for some people, sometimes slower for others, you will build an environment, you will build a culture where people feel seen, feel heard, feel like they matter, and you will watch them give you their blood, sweat, and tears to help your business grow. We're there to see those around us rise. That's what leadership is. So if you want people to be honest about their shortcomings so that you can help them train up, we have to be honest about ours, right? About our shortcomings. One of the greatest things that I ever did was open up to my team about the things I'm struggling with, the days that I'm having a hard day. If I'm in a bad place, I ask my team to be patient with me. And it turns out the more risks that I took to be open, the more risks my team took to be open to me. So if I talked about a skill set I didn't have or where I suck, then they told me where they suck. And I could be there to support them. And more important, they see me doing it for others. So are we yelling at people when they get things wrong? Or are we saying, all right, try again? Like, how are we responding when things go wrong? I remember I had a boss named Peter Intamaggio. He was the best boss I ever had in my life. He would never answer a single question. I'd ask him something, and he'd say, well, what do you think we should do? I'd be like, I think we should do this. He goes, well, why don't you try that? And if I screwed something up, he expected us to be fully accountable. He expected us to walk into his office and say, I screwed up. And you never got yelled at. He said, okay, so what are you going to do to fix it? And because we didn't get yelled at, we were encouraged to be honest, and we were rewarded for being honest. In other words, he held space for us. He was supportive in us trying to fix something. We never feared for losing our jobs if we screwed something up, and I screwed some big things up. But he was just there to support us. And so the more that we felt that, the more not only risks were we willing to take, which is good, but the more we took full accountability.
The closest analogy I can give to what a great leader is, it's like being a parent. If you think about what being a great parent is, what do you want? What makes a great parent? We want to give our child opportunities, education, discipline them when necessary, all so that they can grow up and achieve more than we could for ourselves. Great leaders want exactly the same thing. They want to provide their people opportunity, education, discipline when necessary, build their self-confidence, give them the opportunity to try and fail, all so that they could achieve more than we could ever imagine for ourselves. Great leaders would never sacrifice the people to save the numbers. They would sooner sacrifice the numbers to save the people. Leadership is a choice. It is not a rank. I know many people at the senior-most levels of organizations who are absolutely not leaders. They are authorities, and we do what they say because they have authority over us, but we would not follow them. And I know many people who are at the bottoms of organizations who have no authority, and they are absolutely leaders. And this is because they have chosen to look after the person to the left of them, and they have chosen to look after the person to the right of them. This is what a leader is.